Newsmax studio in New York City, here is Steve Malzberg.
Hi, everybody. I hope you're enjoying your 4th of July weekend. I want to begin today by saying a special word to the U.S. men's soccer team, who represented America so well the past few weeks. We are so proud of you. You've got a lot of new believers. And I know there's actually a petition on the White House website to make Tim Howard the next Secretary of Defense. Chuck Hagel's got that spot right now, but if there is a vacancy, I promise to think about it.
All right, folks, look. I did a give me 5 on this whole nonsense. This was his 4th of July message to the nation. He didn't throw this in at the end. He started out the 4th of July message to the nation with the shout out to the soccer team. How about the men and women who gave us this 4th of July? Now he'll go on and talk about our men and women in uniform. But apparently the soccer uniform means more on this 4th of July that just passed, or meant more on this 4th of July that just passed, to the President of the United States, a soccer team that lost, a soccer team that won 1 game out of 4. Yet he starts his 4th of July message honoring them ahead of our soldiers. Welcome to the abomination. More.
Generations of Americans have marched, organized, petitioned, fought, and even died to extend those rights to others, to widen the circle of opportunity for others, and to perfect this union we love so much. That's why I want to say a special thanks to the men and women of our armed forces and the families who serve with them, especially those service members who spent this most American of holidays serving your country far from home.
And especially those who play soccer in the military. I mean, are you kidding me? You know, I remember when they had the shooting at Fort Hood, okay? The first Fort Hood shooting, the massacre. And he kept his schedule. And he was speaking to a group of Native Americans, okay? And he came out and it took him 2 minutes before he talked about the shooting at Fort Hood. I want to give a shout out to this one, and I want to give a shout out to that one. I've played that over and over and over again, many times since that occurred, I think in 08 or 09. I don't remember off the top of my head. That couldn't have been 08. What am I saying? 09, probably. Anyway, his priorities are all messed up. How do you come into a situation where there was just a shooting and soldiers died at a base on your own country, and you're giving shout-outs to people in the audience before you mention what happened? And then it's 4th of July weekend, your presidential message, and you're talking about the soccer team, and then our men and women in uniform? I'm speechless. I'm really speechless. You would expect better from a president of the United States. What does he think? He's being hip? Cool? I don't get it. I mean, if maybe you could sit down and talk to me and convince me if the soccer team won the World Cup, or got to the finals of the World Cup, or the semifinals of the World Cup. They won 1 game. And he puts them ahead of our troops on the 4th of July? As if soccer fever is sweeping the nation? No, it's not. No, it's not. It never has. It was going to when Pele and Giorgio Canaglia and all those people came into soccer. Didn't happen. Then Beckham, didn't happen. And now this? But that's beside the point. Again, it's an embarrassment. It should be to the president. But as an American citizen watching his president and listening to his president arrange his priorities on the 4th of July, it's disgusting. And it makes me sick. Really does. On the Steve Malzberg Show, folks. And we'll be back with more. But first, this hour's American Moment, we look at John Glenn's journey into space.
He had served in 2 wars and flown over 150 combat missions. But in just 60 seconds, this Marine Corps officer would experience a ride like no other. At 9:47 a.m. on the 20th of February, 1962, Lieutenant Colonel John Glenn Jr. of New Concord, Ohio, found himself sitting on top of an Atlas 6 rocket filled with 600,000 pounds of fuel. At liftoff, 360,000 pounds of thrust hurled the massive rocket and its occupant into space and America's history books. John Glenn became the fourth human being to enter space and the first American to orbit the Earth. For his remarkable heroism, President Kennedy awarded Colonel Glenn NASA's Distinguished Service Medal.
As our knowledge of this universe in which we live increases, may God grant us the wisdom and guidance to use it wisely. Thank you, Colonel.
Glenn went on to become the United States Senator from Ohio, and in 1984 ran for the Democratic presidential nomination, but lost to Walter Mondale. You're watching An American Moment on Newsmax TV.